Hello all, welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So Bond 25 seems to be finally kind of picking up some sort of steam. Today I want to talk about precisely what I would like to see in Bond 25 and precisely what should actually happen in Bond 25. First of all, I want to obviously talk about the new things that have kind of been confirmed. Obviously, good old Babs and Michael G. Wilson will be back as producing. Daniel Craig will be back for one more. This is his last, as he said, and Danny Boyle seems to be directing, with John Hodge writing, who wrote Trainspotting and Beach, for examples there. So it's a couple of, for me at least, kind of good, big, substantial, you kind of want the star and the director at least kind of knowing what's kind of happening. So yeah, the rest of what this video is going to be about is basically just my picks and my kind of choices of what I think should happen in Bond 25. Now first of all, I want to talk about the cast. Now obviously Daniel Craig, obviously, as I said, has been confirmed, and other kind of recurring characters, obviously I like to see Ralph Fiennes as M back. I really enjoyed him. I've also enjoyed, obviously, Naomi Harris's Moneypenny, as well as Ben Whishawer's Q. I hope these lot do come back. I think those three have really been good. I'd like to also see Rory Kinnear come back as Bill Tanner, as well as Jeffrey Wright as Felix. I also think he's done a pretty damn good job, and he's been missing for a couple of ones. And if this is Daniel Craig's last, it would be good to have him back as well. Now, talking about new characters now, first of all, obviously, the big one is the Bond girl. For me, it's Marion Cotillard. I think she is perfection of what a Bond girl should be. And also, it's no point denying the age of what Daniel will be. I think she's just appropriate for his age. Really, I don't want to see the rumours of Cara Delevingne being, I don't mind her, but I don't really, no, it's like nearly 30 years of a difference there, and no, I just don't want to see that. I think Marion Cotillard is stunning, brilliant actress, and I think she just ticks all the boxes of what a modern day Bond girl really is. And obviously talking about the kind of rest of kind of some of the other kind of supporting characters, first of all, to talk about, I like to see Jared Harris in the movie. I really like him, played by a character that was actually a recurring character a long time ago, of Frederick Grey. I'd like to see him play that role. I also like to see Richard E. Grant in this movie. He would be a kind of a Royal Navy lieutenant in that kind of field. I'll kind of talk about these kind of characters though in a bit, what they kind of obviously mean, and also the other kind of stuff that I would have is obviously double agents is the big thing about what I'd like to see in Bond 25, and precisely actors that have worked with Danny Boyle, which makes sense to me. If Danny Boyle brings in certain actors that he has worked in the past, obviously one of them being big, Kelly MacDonald, she would be below agents, as well as Chris Ferguson, who's worked actually quite a good couple of times with Danny Boyle, as well as with Daniel Craig, so I think that would make quite a bit of sense, that one. He would also play, obviously, a double agent, and another one of Patterson Joseph. And I quite like this little group here. I think they would work quite well here as double agents, all kind of roughly the same age as well. I think they all look quite believable as well, being double agents. And again, I'll come back to more on them. And talk about the villains, obviously. The main one, the main Bond villain, is Cate Blanchett for me. I think she would do a superb job as the Bond villain. I've been wanting to see her be a Bond villain for some time. I loved her in Thor Ragnarok as a villain. I thought she was great in that. And for her henchman that she has, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because it's ridiculously hard and long name to get, but basically, if you watch Game of Thrones, the Mountain in Game of Thrones, or Thor is his nickname, I know that is for sure. I can see some of the fight scenes, like just him standing behind Daniel Craig, I think just already has so much fun and potential to it, as well as Ray Park as well. I really like Ray Park. He's been someone that I've liked for some time. He's done some really iconic roles, and I think a Bond henchman would be up there for him as well. I'd really like to see him in that role. Another kind of supporting villain, this is more, but very much a quite meaty role, will be played by Cillian Murphy. I've been wanting to see him again, obviously, in a Bond movie sometime. Has worked as well with Danny Boyle for a good couple of movies. And a lot of Bond fans would like to see him as well in a Bond movie, me included there as well. He will play a character called Hector Stone, which you'll probably hear me mention quite a lot when I'll be talking about actual what I'd like to see soon. And he'll have like an assistant, which this whole character is basically just an old classic kind of Bond girl kind of name. There was a book I read quite recently of a Bond novel, which I quite enjoyed, and the Bond girl was called Jeopardy Lane, and I really liked that name. And that's basically the character of this assistant, played by Suki Waterhouse. I think she did a good job, and that's kind of like the main cast that I have there. And obviously talking about little kind of like other kind of extras, I would always like to see. I like to see Thomas Newman come back to score. I love what he did with Skyfall and Spectre. I think I really like having a really kind of the old style classic, you know, orchestra get a style back. Really, I think we lost it a little bit with David Arnold. He made it himself. He prefers really using the computer more than really using an orchestra set, and I just don't really agree with that. I prefer that kind of really bombastic type music. And also talking about the title song as well, actually, who I like to see Elton John do it. I find it nuts that he's not actually done a Bond song whatsoever over the years. I think he'd be a perfect choice. I don't want to see any of the new ones of recent years. Ed Sheeran, I'm okay. There's enough ginger twats in here, me included, eh? I'm okay with that one. And a couple other kind of like tidbits. Obviously, locations is a big one. The opening of the movie I would like to see set in Croatia. That seems to be a thing also there. Seem to be interested. I remember there was some rumours there. India is another place I'd like them to go. Again, they wanted to go in Skyfall to India, but there was problems there. So they obviously are interested to go back. And a new place of Canada. I'd like to. That'll be the third act of the movie set in Canada. I'd like to see that happening. I've been wanting to go to Canada for a wee bit. But yeah, that's like the kind of locations of the movie, and some the cars. I guess you gotta have the cars. Obviously the Aston Martin DB5 would be in it because, well, after Spectre, that seems to be his car right now. He has a Bentley Continental. That'll be M's car. The beautiful GT. It's a beautiful looking car. As well as a Fiat 500. But I'll get back to that one. So yeah, that's kind of talk about the cast quickly there. And now I want to kind of just talk about the actual kind of story and kind of plot points of the said story. So first of all, I'd like the actual movie to obviously open with the gun barrel, and I would like the full-on classic gun barrel where the movie opens up and you have the first shot of Croatia, which will be the opening sequence to this movie. It'll be a bit of a kind of Bond in disguise kind of type thing. He's needing to get information to obviously he knows about this kind of drone technology that seems to be kind of happening, which he finds out, and he has information on these pamphlets that says of this Hector Stone that's on it, which obviously is a big connection to this drone technology that's going to be opening soon. And obviously kind of chasing shoes and all that kind of fun. And at the end of the kind of sequence, a missile appears and goes for Bond, and he manages just to escape. This missile was a nuclear missile, and it devastates quite a large area. And then it obviously goes into the titles, where the Elton John song, I believe, should be in this kind of part here. And then the kind of like first kind of bits we kind of have is camera footage of Cate Blanchett's villain, basically confirming that the missile was all her. She's got no hairs of grace to say it wasn't her. But also this kind of point, she also has a government official. This is where kind of like seeds of her kind of plan is coming out here, where she kind of basically is saying that this government official has been using taxpayers' money to get basically stuff that he kind of wants for his kind of life, and she believes this is obviously wrong, which is wrong, and she's trying to get like the people of the world to kind of really get a bad taste even more so with the government and all this. And I'm kind of liking this. I like this kind of idea of like this kind of really kind of twisting people's kind of minds and thinking differently and all that. And then another kind of big sequence is obviously all the 00 agents are all together. This is where I said where you're going to see Patterson Joseph, Chris Vex and Kelly MacDonald. They're all there with Daniel Craig as well. This is a big meeting with with Ralph Fiennes there. Jared Harris is Frederick Gray, as well as obviously Richard E. Grant. He'll be there as well. So this is like almost kind of a big reference to Thunderball, that kind of that really big meeting. I love to see this is a big thing. A big nuclear device just happened. Everyone's really scared of what's kind of going on here. But at this kind of point, this is where Bond is sent to the Shard. He is sent to meet up with Hector Stone to talk about obviously this drone technology that he has obviously created. Obviously because, you know, he saw this connection of Hector Stone in these pamphlets that he read in the opening sequence. Now, obviously, this drone technology, I'd like to just point out right now, the look of the drones would be, and the picture here of it right now is the kind of look of the Tyrannus that I kind of looked up on. I would like this kind of like, this triangular kind of shape looking drone. That would be kind of look of it, just to kind of like say it right there. Hector Stone has his conference about the drone technology. This is actually when Bond uses his chance and actually infiltrates Stone's office. Now, when he's there, there, he's actually caught, he tries to escape, and this is like a point where we have like a fun little sequence outside the Shard, where I always like the idea of Bond having a fight scene on the cleaning windows. I always think it looked quite interesting and could be a fun little sequence there. Bond manages to escape this, and he talks to M about what's kind of been happening, obviously, at the Shard, and he finds out information that India seems to be the place where Stone's base is, where he has these drone technologies at. Bond goes to India and he meets up with Felix. Bond infiltrates the base of Hector Stone's. This is where he meets Fleur, played by Moria Cotillard. They escape in a very kind of fun chase sequence I quite like, and this is where the Fiat 500 comes in, because I really like the idea of Daniel Craig in a Fiat 500 in a chase, and like Bond's just getting really pissed off using this Fiat 500, but that's the only thing that they had at the time to get out of there, and I just wanted a little bit of kind of like fun there. At this kind of point where this is where Hector confirms to the Ghost, which is obviously played by Cate Blanchett, that the drone technology is already in waiting. This is the point where Ghost actually kills Hector because she believes he doesn't need him anymore. This is also where Ghost now reveals her full kind of plan to the world, where basically she has two settings for the drone technology: to aim for the rich or aim for the poor. And this is where the government has to decide which is which to go for. She sets a certain kind of time and day, about 3 kind of days, say for instance, they have to kind of basically make up an idea of who's going first, who's going there. The government has to kind of decide. This is again pushing the kind of idea of like the people just feel helpless around these government officials taking over this kind of ideology. This is the point where obviously he's completely against it, because it's all the kind of defence heads are kind of basically going to be kind of in charge almost of this kind of decisions and all that. M goes away in his Bentley. This is where a kind of big kind of chase happens, and the Bentley has some kind of cool gadgets as well, which I quite like. Ghost nearly kills M, but he manages to escape. Bill Turner takes over M's position. This is where we kind of find out that Bill Turner is actually going to be a villain for the rest of the kind of movie. Moneypenny and Q are quite shocked by the kind of revelations I find out about Tanner, and they decide to actually kind of like almost leave. But while at that kind of point, Moneypenny actually gets a message from M, and she finds out where M is, and they kind of have like, it's a kind of scene where they kind of get together and kind of talk it all out. This is where kind of like Bond, Felix, Fleur, and the rest of MI6, as well as some double agents, all connect at this Royal Navy ship in the middle of the kind of the ocean, all that. They all kind of come together, and at this kind of point they're trying to like figure out where the hell Ghost even actually is, and through kind of like certain kind of figuring out time codes of like where the cameras would have been, of like terms of where she actually said her time was and all that. They find out it's Canada is where Ghost is, so they go to Canada, and with the third act I just want a full-on fun, big full-on base for Daniel Craig. You know, we've got the Royal Navy there, we've got all the kind of bit very Spy and Love Me, very You Only Live Twice, that kind of style of this big. I just want this, everyone's there, even M's like trying to help and find, because obviously he does have past experience and as well. It's just all the other double agents, they're all just there trying to help. I quite like this idea, and obviously they managed to get stop Ghost and stop the drone just before in time actually the governments in the world decide obviously their choices. And obviously this is where you also will find that they do decide to try and kill the poor, which is obviously is to leave a bad taste in that kind of side. So yeah, the film will kind of end in a very kind of you know, very over the top bombastic spectacle really of a third act, and that's what I want. I really want that, you know, let's end Daniel Craig's tenor on a high note. Let's really do it. And obviously the epilogue, we'll see Bond will kill Tanner in a very kind of cold blood kind of style, very Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, that kind of way how they kill Colin Firth's character is very kind of similar there. And at the end also Bond will get knighted by the Queen. It would be interesting if they actually did get the real Queen. Danny Boyle seems to have some connections, so maybe he could do that. But yeah, that would be kind of the end, and then Daniel Craig kind of just walks off kind of sort of thing, and that would be the end of the movie. And yeah, I would like to know what you guys think. This is what I'd love to see in the movie. I'd love to know what you guys think. More videos in the future. So until then, see you later.